YouTube. Bandana Gramma here, and I'm going live to tell you all about the fun time I had at the Homesteaders of America conference in Front Royal, Virginia. We got back a couple of days ago. It's been a whirlwind of activity before and after. I was a vendor there. I had a table there and had all my sewing goods there, such as mittens and aprons and ponchos. Hello, Freddie Vincent. Haven't seen you before. Hi, Kelly. Hello, Kelly. You love your apron. I'm glad you love your apron. White Picket Fence, hello. Glad to see you here too. I'm going to be sewing a little bit here. I'm going to talk about the great time we had and Homesteaders of America conference. If you ever are able to go to one of those conferences, go. Even a get-together with some folks. It was such fun to get together with like-minded people. The community build-up was wonderful. Everyone was so sweet and kind to us. And I did well with my table. I sold out of all my mittens. I brought 28 pair of mittens. Excuse me. I gave 2 away, and I sold the 26 others, and I sold a couple of my ponchos and some aprons and some bandanas. So I did very well on my booth, and I plan to go back next year. Let's see who else is here. Oh, I can't see. There we go. Chat. Okay, Kelly, Susie. Hello, Susie Bosch. Good morning. So I'm just going to sit here and chat a little about what happened. I'm working on finishing up. I started another pair of mittens when I got home. I'll tell you about these. All right, now for those who don't know, I take wool sweaters and I wash them and dry them to felt them to shrink them. And then what that does is it makes the weave tighter, makes them more water resistant and fray resistant. Then I cut them all up and I mix and match patterns and shapes and solids, and I design some mittens and I sew them up. And this pair is made from lamb's wool. It is so totally soft, baby soft. This lamb's wool is, both the pink and the gray. And I embellished it with a little bit of a heart on here, just sewing that on. And they're all done except at the very end, I hand stitch this cuff down so that they won't pull back and flap over and look unsightly. So I just give them a nice hand stitching when I'm done to finish them off. And that's all I have to do for these mittens to be completed. So let me see what other comments we have here. Morning from Northwest Washington State. Hi, Tammy. So if you were at the Homesteaders of America conference, say so. We'd like to know you were there. If you were, hopefully I met you. There were some other channels there I hadn't met yet, and I'm seeing them online now putting up their videos, and I'm thinking, oh, I wish I had met them. You know, Kelly, yes, Kelly was there. Kelly was there. All right, yes, these will be, I'm going to put these on my Etsy shop very soon. My mittens are $35 a pair shipped. So that's what they cost, and I'll put them up on my Etsy shop. And my Etsy shop is Bandana Gramma Crafts, and the link is down below, so you can find it spelled right and everything. Right. Okay, now something else that happened there was a huge surprise to us. It had been our 50th wedding anniversary the week before. Yes, my husband and I have been married 50 years, and the Aldermans, dear friends, had a big surprise for us that we didn't know anything about. They had told us that they were going to have a bonfire with some singing, and they know I like to sing around a bonfire, so they invited us to go to that, and they said it would be at 6 o'clock on Friday night. So 6 o'clock Friday night, we went, and sure enough, they had a little bonfire started, and some people were standing around. We were waiting for things to get underway. When all of a sudden, the Aldermans, Patty and Tommy, came up, and they put this on my head. They put a veil on my head. Whoops, I dropped something. Wait a minute. And they put this on my husband's head. And they all started saying, "Happy anniversary, surprise." And they brought out a cake that had this 50th wedding anniversary cake topper on top of it. And we were just gobsmacked. We just had no idea they were going to do that. It was so sweet and so special that they would think to do that. Well, that's not all. The next thing I know, Tommy's pulling up something on his phone and he starts playing music. And it's our song. And I'm thinking, how did he know our song? And then I remembered last year, right after the conference, he had set out a tweet saying, or a message saying, saying, share your, do you have an hour song, just in general to everybody? And so I said, oh, well, that's how he knows, because way back when, a year ago, he asked that for some reason. And he told me right there, he said, you know, a year ago when I asked about what, he said he would have an hour song and you responded. He said, I only did that to get your song because we were planning on doing this year because we knew it was your 50th. Because last year at the conference, I told him, you know, next year we'll be here right after our 50th wedding anniversary. Hello, Brenda. So that was such a big surprise. We just couldn't believe it. Well, he pulls up our song, and they all start singing it to us. In our song, now, you got to remember, this was 1968, and we were 18, 19 years old, was "We Got a Groovy Kind of Love." And so the Rascals, and they started singing that to us, and they had practiced it. He had sent them the lyrics and told them to practice it. I'm going to forget somebody if I say who all was there, but yeah, it was the Aldermans, it was the Fuels, it was Tangi and Jack, and it was the farmers. That's their last name. Kim and Billy Ray Farmer. They were there. I don't want to forget anybody. They were so sweet. Hello, Laura. And we were just emotional. You know, we couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe that they thought so much ahead to do that for us. It was just the sweetest thing. So, I mean, and with the veil and the hat and the cake, and afterward, we all went out for Chinese food, and that was fun. Unfortunately, Mick and I had already eaten because when they told us to go to the campfire, we were starving. And we said, well, we got like 45 minutes. They only told us a short time ahead. And so we'll run out and we'll grab a burger at Roy Rogers. So we went out and got a burger at Roy Rogers and then ran right back and got there at 6 o'clock. Turns out the others who were planning it hadn't eaten it, and they were starving, and they're all hanging around the fire waiting for us. We had no idea. So it was really special and a blessing to us. So yeah, I had to share that. Tommy and Patty Alderman, you are the best, the most thoughtful people to plan that all the way ahead like that. Thank you. Okay, I also got a card from my friend Laura, who's here. Laura sent me a sweet card and said happy anniversary. So that was very kind. That was waiting for us when we came home. And what else? Well, the conference itself. There was so much to see and do and hear. I had my booth, so I couldn't get away too much, but people were coming by my booth, so I was able to meet a lot of other channels there. And I was able to, you know, walk away. My husband was with me, and he was great about manning the booth when I was gone to, you know, take the money and sell the stuff while all my mittens and whatever. So I did get away a little bit and was able to walk around and see all the other vendors. And I poked my head in a couple of speakers, only for like 5 minutes at a time. So I wasn't able to really hear all the good speakers. But I am a member of Homesteaders of America, and that means they're going to let me have all the videos that they made and tapes of everything that I missed. So I'll be able to see it that way. All right, see, something else showed. Let me find. Yeah, it was a great surprise, Tammy. Thank you, Kelly. Veronica Dorley. Good afternoon from Ireland. Well, hi, Veronica. Thank you for coming by and saying hello. Sharon Burke. Hey, Bandana. Hi, Sharon. I hope you're doing well, hon. Okay. The other thing I'm going to show you is that I'm going to have a big sale on my premium items. It was great getting to meet you and your husband in person. Yes, Brenda, we love that. We love getting to meet subscribers and YouTubers. That was, it, it's hard to say it was the best part because the speakers and all are so important there, but it was really a very important part. The community, the sense of community there was great. Even my husband enjoyed it, and he's not like into homesteading, but he enjoys people, and they enjoy him, and he had a very good time, and he wants to go back again. Good morning, Patty from Colorado. Glad to have you in here. Rose. Hello, Rose. Rose was there. I got to get a really good hug from Rose from Wholesome Roots. And you should go watch her video because she put up an excellent video on the Homesteaders of America conference. I was a total YouTube fail. I didn't get video. I only got a few snapshots, which I've already put up on my Facebook page. They're nice snapshots of different YouTubers I got my picture taken with. But I was a total fail. I was selling my mittens, and, you know, Rose said it too. It was hard to get the camera out. It just wasn't something you wanted to do. You just wanted to enjoy the atmosphere and be there. It was hard to get the camera out and actually film it. So you can go research Homesteaders of America on YouTube, and you'll be able to see everyone else who did pull their camera out. And I'm in a couple of them, like out of Goshen. They had a part in there where they came and surprised me at my booth. We had always talked about we were hoping to meet sometime. Hi, Brenda. I wish I had seen you more. Yeah, Brenda and her hubby were sweet. And it was good to see them there. So many. What do you think, Rose? 2,000 people that attended, maybe? I'm working on another edit now of a behind the scenes. Nice. Nice. Everyone was so sweet. And, you know, when you meet channels, you always wonder, are they going to be the same in person as they are on their YouTube channel? And I'd say everyone was that I met. Well, I just loved it. So if you ever get a chance to go to that one or another one, do it. You'll love it. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you about my premium discounts. Okay, I have my mugs, Bandana Gramma mugs, like that, and I have them in this color, the blue, this color that has the blue inside and the blue handle. Let me see. I wrote down what I can let them go for now. Okay, the blue ones shipped. They're going to be $18. So if you want a Bandana Gramma mug, they're really wonderful coffee mugs, and they're the colors. I love the colors on them. So those are $18 to support the channel, and that's a markdown from $22. They were $22. I got a deal on them, and then I decided to take a cut. So, you know, I bought a bunch, and they hadn't moved, so I need to sell them. Even if I take a loss or whatever, it's better to move them. And the white ones, they're the same, pretty much the same, except there's no blue inside, and there's no blue on the handle, and these are 13 shipped. So you want the blue one, 18 shipped. If you want the white one, 13 shipped. And the way you can do that is go to my, we had one on Friday at lunch, a seed swap too. Yep. I got some seeds at her seed swap. If you want to purchase anything I'm going to show you, go to my Facebook page, which is Susie Bandana. No, scratch that. Go to my email. And that's down below, bandanagramma@gmail.com. And bandana in that instance is B-A-N-D-A-N-N-A. There's two N's on the end of bandana there. It's the only way I could get it to work. Usually it's only one N at the end. Anyway, bandanagramma@gmail.com. Link is below. Go there. tell me which of these items you are interested in, and I can send you an invoice, and that invoice can be paid with either PayPal or a credit card, or we'll work something out, whatever works for you. So those are the mugs. I also have the t-shirts, and I'll show you those now. Okay. These are the t-shirts. It's the same logo. And I've got two different kinds. I've got the women's soft spun, which is this. Yes, the women's soft spun t-shirt, and I have them in large. I have them in extra large. I think, let me check. I got them in large, extra large. Let's see. The navy, I've got 4 in 2XL. But on the soft spun fitted kind, you want to order a size up because they run just a little small, I think, because of the fitted kind. So 4 navy and the 2XL, these are going to be $20 for the t-shirts. That's shipped. And I have these Hanes men's cut ones. So they're just the plain square cut shirts. And I have, let's see, 2 tagless Hanes, and those are $18. And in the women's, I've got navy, I've got gray, and I've got black. In large, extra large, and 2XL. So you just let me know using my email which you might be interested in. And I also have the white. And did I write down how many I have in the white? I don't think I did. I've got 2XL, and they run true to size. They're not small. 1 large and 1 2XL in the white. And the white would be, I think I did write it down, $16 for the white. Yep. $16 for the white. So if you're interested in a t-shirt, that's them. Now, if you want a t-shirt, but you don't want to spend that much money, I have some seconds here. And these are only going to be $8 because the saturation on the colors wasn't right. So, and it's not backwards. That's just because my camera's turned around. But this one was a little light. So I'm gonna sell these for $4, but $8 shipped. And I've got 1, 2, 3, and these are all very large. These are 1 large. Let's see. Okay, 3 men's large in the Hanes type shirts in the light color print. And 3 with, they're oversaturated, too much red in the face. And I got 3 of those as well. And they are also men's large size. So $8 shipped for those. So you just let me tell me if you want the misprint shirts or the regular shirts. And we can do that. Now my Etsy store. I've got several things listed in my Etsy store now. And I'll show you what they are. I have this hand crocheted poncho. It's charcoal gray with light gray fringe and neck trim on it. And one size fits most. I have this apron, and this is the apron Kelly Bays has that her husband bought her at the conference. Okay, bandana granite apron. And let me turn the camera around so you can read it. Okay, I think it'll be right now. Okay, see, it's got substitutions, like cooking substitutions for it, but the very last line is inspirational. So if you're interested in this apron, it's a cotton twill like a denim. I have 2 of these. I have 2 of these, and they are $29 for those, shipped. So, all right, got that done. Got that out of the way. But I need to get those, I need to move those, and I want to just discount them, and if you're interested, you get a discount. Now, my mittens. I wanted to show you what I'm doing with my mittens now. I sold out, so I'm making more. That pair I just showed you are the first pair. And here is where I've got my parts going. The mittens are made out of four parts. There's a back, there's a top, a palm top that goes like this with the thumb, and then there's a palm bottom that goes like on the bottom here. So it would look like this. See a top and a bottom? So that would be the thumb and the mitten top, mitten bottom, mitten back, and then I take ribbing and I make a cuff for it. So that's how I make my mittens, with these 4 parts. And so I cut all the sweaters up, and I sit here and I go through these piles and I mix and match them and make some real pleasing designs. And this bag is full of those that I've already matched up. Each bag has a pair of mittens that I have matched up with colors and pieces, so I can take a bag out and start sewing it up. Everything's here except the lining. So eventually what I hope to do is offer mitten kits, where I can offer you the mitten cut up like this with the liner cut up, directions, and then a link to a YouTube video, private YouTube video where I can teach you how to make them. So that's something coming in the future. I haven't got it set up yet. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, if you'd be interested in that. Let's see if there's any more comments. All right. So much to do. I wish there would have been time for a meet and greet. Yeah, that's what Rose was talking about. She had a little bit of a meet and greet. Well, it was actually a nice one in the pavilion up there. Not everyone knew about it, but they had a meet and greet and a seed swap. And I didn't bring any seeds, so I wasn't going to go, but she said they had so many, she told me go on up and take a few anyway. So I did. We had one Friday at lunch, a seed swap too. Yep. I didn't have time to get seeds together. That was me. Yeah, I didn't hear about that until too late. And I was already going crazy trying to pack up all my goods. Be right back. You didn't need seeds. Yep. To hang out, and we all donated seeds for people who didn't have any. Hey, Stella. Stella. Yes, I'd love a kit. Stella would love a kit. Okay, well, I've got to figure out a price for them. Of course, they're going to be a lot less than my mittens that I make, but it'll be a good idea, I think, for people who want to make them. Hi, Stella. All right, speaking of making mittens, I'm going to go out in the kitchen and start cutting out a pair. At least I'm going to cut out the liners. And if you want to hang around and watch that, good. If not, you know, I mean, you can continue to chat here among yourselves, and I'll watch the video, watch the chat and answer any questions you have. So let's go to the kitchen. Get you up close and personal here. This is my fleece lining. Each pair of my mittens is actually 2 mittens, because I have the pretty outside one that I designed, and then inside is a totally separate pair of mittens that is the liner. So they are extremely warm and soft and comfortable. And if you're allergic to wool, you have the cotton poly fleece against your skin inside. Right, so I'm going to show you how I go about laying out and cutting a pair. And this is the same whether it be the liner or the actual outside of the mitten. I have 3 pieces I use. These are getting pretty beat up now because I've used them so many times. Sorry if you can't see it too well because it's white on white. But I just pin them on. And then I'll even sew up a liner for you so you can see how I go about doing that. I do have my sewing machine set up. Can you hear me okay? Because I don't have my, I lost my, oh shoot, I'm too low. I lost my external microphone. It's here somewhere, but I didn't bring it to the conference because I couldn't find it. And I still haven't found it. I probably have it in a purse or something, hiding on me. Now I'm going to be making my own patterns for these. I had gotten some patterns off the internet, but I don't care for them. I have to adjust them in where I start and stop the sewing and how big I make the thumb. Like these aren't quite right. So every time I cut them out and every time I make one, I adjust it as I sew it. So I want to make my own pattern where I fix it right and I show where you start and where you stop sewing. Make the thumb not so big and just the corrections I would do. So these are my mitten liners. Every pair of mittens has a another full pair inside, made out of cotton poly stretch lining material. Super comfortable. So this is the back of the mitten. And this is the finger portion of the palm. With thumb. Okay. So that's the finger portion there. This is the wrist portion because the palm is split in half. So there's a separate piece for the finger part, top part of the palm, and the wrist part of the palm. And that makes it really cool because you can mix and match your fabrics to have different ones on the palms. And I love it that way. I think it looks great. Gives you a lot more creativity. And for the cuffs, I don't have a pattern. I just cut the cuffs off the sweater. And of course that gives me 1 pair of mittens, 2 cuffs, 1 pair of mittens. And then I use the bottom of the sweater where there's ribbing, and I cut those to fit a wrist, and I sew them on the sweater. I just need to go up the middle of that because I folded it over right there. Okay, so that's the wrist. Actually this way, that's the wrist. And this is the fingers that go like that. So it'll be that way. And this is the back. And I'm going to go ahead and sew them. So you're getting a little sneak preview of my how to sew mittens video for when I offer my mitten kits. Let's see if I can darken that a little because the white is blinding here. Darken. Okay, right and left. Right and left. And now we sew the palm tops to the palm bottoms. See if I can get you a little closer and darken it so you can see it better. Why is it when I need to darken it, I usually touch it and it will, and it doesn't? I don't know. Right, I better check. Gotta go. Bye, Patty. Wholesome Roots. Gotta run. Editing my next conference video. Oh. Okay, hard to hear. Hello, Jen. Thank you for the use of your tent at the conference. All right, I'm going to speak up because they said it was hard to hear. I do need my external mic in order for it to work well. The little internal mic doesn't always pick up when I'm on the other side of the camera. Okay. So those who like to watch sewing, this is how I put my knit. I start with a straight, oh dear, it's too light. All right, I'm going to turn my light off. See if I can get better focus in here. Darken. Okay. It's the best it's going to do, I guess. Now this is where I mean this pattern, I have to stitch it differently than how it's cut out. I need to make my own pattern because I need to make the thumb smaller. And it doesn't tell where to start and stop. So I kind of figured out that's where I run it off. So I start with a straight stitch all the way around and I make the thumb. And now I'm going to zigzag all the way around there to make it secure. Okay, so I've got a straight stitch and a zigzag attaching the palm top to the palm bottom, and now I'm cutting around the zigzag to trim it, take off the excess, and then I'll open it and you'll see it's got a thumb and a top and a bottom, and this is just the liner. Now I take the back and you're not going to put the seams on the inside because this being the liner, you don't want the seams up against your skin. So I'm going to leave the seams on the outside, and then the cover mitten will go over that to hide that. So you'll be nice and comfortable with no open seams against your skin. The sewn seams will be sewn seams will be against your skin. And the pretty mitten will cover all the raw seams. So we just pin the mitten back to the mitten palm top and bottom. And then we're just going to sew up and around to attach them. And this is the same way you would sew the outer mitten, except you would put the seam on the inside. You put right sides together for that because you don't want the seams on the outside of the mitten, of course. But for the liner, you keep the seams on the outside. So you don't put the right sides together. All right, we'll trim that up. Right, and we sew the mitten back to the mitten palm. And I start with a straight stitch. Take out my pins as I go. And thumb's a little tricky because you got to catch it without going too far into it. And I triple stitch all the stress points, and this would be a stress point. So I'm going to back it up and triple stitch it. Tail of the thread going through the stitch. Take that out. Okay. And again, backing it up on the stress point. So here is one mitten liner. So that's what goes inside the mitten. Now I'm going to trim close to the, no, now I'm going to zigzag around to reinforce it. Okay. Now if I had a serger, it would be a lot easier because the serger would zigzag it and trim it all at the same time. Well, I don't have a serger. So for every pair, every liner pair and every mitten pair, I have to zigzag and trim. As I sell my mittens and save up my money, I may indeed get myself a serger. That would save me quite a bit of time. Okay, we trim it back, nice and neat. Take off any extra threads. There, and there's a mitten liner. North Dakota Pink, hey Bandana, peeking in to say hi. We'll watch later, see your finished project. Love your mittens. Guaranteed to make your hands toasty. Yeah, Laura has bought many pair of my mittens for her family, and she knows how warm they are. So, good morning, Food Forest Permaculture. Love those mitten liners. Yeah. Hi, Mrs. Bandana. How many grandkids do you have? We are expecting our 8th grandchild. 6 are homegrown, 2 are gifted through marriage, and we have one coming from our daughter Heidi due November 7th, but it could be any time now. So we are so excited. Uh, it wasn't easy for Heidi to have this baby, so it's been a long time coming, and we're all just thrilled that she's going to have a little one. It's her first. Yes, we are just thrilled with Heidi having a baby. And the other thing is, most of the other grandkids live out of state. My oldest son has 3 out in Massachusetts, and my second son has 2 in Virginia. We're in Maryland, and Heidi lives around the corner from us. So I'm afraid this one's going to be a little more spoiled. Yeah, and then our other daughter, who has the 2 gifted by marriage, they live not too far away, so we can see them once in a while. Well, one of them lives close, and it's better. We can see them more often, so we're happy with that. Yeah, I have 9 grandkids, and I am king of the sandbox. Okay. Alrighty. So, I guess that's all I'll do for today. I'm 48 and have 2 kids. Let's see, come back. I am 48 and have 2 kids. One 14 and the other is 12. Me and my husband started late. Yeah, we had 7 children, my husband and I. We were married young. I had my first when I was 20. And now we have the 8 grandkids. Like I said, 6 homegrown and 2 gifted by marriage. And the 8th one is coming very, very soon. So totally excited about that. Okay, I'm not going to keep going on these. I just wanted to give you a little preview of how I make the mittens. And the new ones, did I bring them up here? I'll be going up. Honey, would you bring me those gray mittens right there? My latest pair is going to be going up on Etsy within a day or so. I'll show you those who didn't get to see them, because I sold out completely of all my mittens at the Homesteaders of America conference. So these are my newest mittens I just made over the last couple of days. They are lamb's wool. They are super baby soft, both the pink and the gray. And they're on my Etsy page, Bandana Gramma Crafts, and the link is below if you want to go check there. The poncho's there. I also have some aprons there. I wanted to tell you about those as well. I had found a great buy on some aprons, some basic aprons. They have a nice pocket on them here, but the strings were kind of, not so great. So what I did was, I thought, if I start with this base, I can sell the aprons for less money than if I have to start from scratch. And it was such a good price that I got them at. And decent, it's like a cotton twill. That what I did was, I found some fabric and I added a ruffle to the bottom. And then I put on much better ties, longer and sturdier and nicer. You can see the difference here. This little string tie that's short, and these longer ties. And also up at the neck, I did the same thing. I put on these kind of ties up at the neck instead of those little skinny string things. So, thank you. I'm going to do the same with these. I'm going to find contrasting colors and improve these so they're like upcycled aprons. I am going to continue to sew my own. I've got some beautiful fabrics that I make my own aprons out of. But when I saw these at such a good price, and I was going to the conference and wanted to bring some aprons with me, I didn't have time to make them. I said, there's a good alternative. I can upcycle some aprons. And I only had 2 ready. I sold one. I brought the other one home. And I've got others. I got plums. I got apples. I got 2 that are floral. I don't know where they went. And then I have limes too. So I need to go down where I have my fabric stash, find contrasting fabrics, and do the same with these that I did with this one. So you can check my Etsy shop where this one's hanging, and if you're interested in those. Okay. Hey, Thermomima. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Shay. All right, I'm going to go. Check out my Etsy shop. Check out the links below if you're interested in any of those other premium items I showed you earlier. My email address, bandanagramma@gmail.com, 2 N's at the end of bandana there. You can contact me there and I will tell me what you're interested in and I'll invoice you and we'll take care of that. Goodbye.